Matthew chapter 9, verse 5 to 6. Matthew chapter 9, verse 5 to 6. And the topic for today, or the theme for this service, is before and after you say, I do. Before and after you say, I do. Matthew chapter 19, verse 5 to 6. Matthew chapter 19, verse 5 to 6. Okay, let's read together. I want to go. And said, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Next verse. So then, they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together. That's where you hear some people's voice. This service is going to be amazing by God's grace. I can see all sorts of teeth. For people that have not been attentive since we started the Saint of Water series, this is what they are waiting for. Like, yes, finally. Something I can relate to. In fact, some people are like, thank God I came to church today. I'll be very direct this morning on some issues. And there'll be, at some point, we'll talk about, we'll address some points, but we'll address issues majorly. I think maybe the next time we'll do this, we'll probably have Slido, anonymous questions, so that people can drop questions on the screen and we answer in real time. The next time we'll have this so that we can also deal with questions that are practical and are affecting people. Number one, when you get to the point where we'll write, I'll let us know. Don't worry. But I need your spirits to be attentive this morning. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 10. Verse 10. Okay, let me see verse 9. Okay. Let's read together. I want to go. Because they have good reward for their labor. And verse 10 then says, verse 10. Let's read together. Single brothers is not Pastor Adeola. And there's a verse, show me amplified. Show me amplified of this verse 10. There's a version that, okay, it's still almost the same thing. Let me see message. Oh, okay. Stuff. You can't have, your purpose in life can't be to be married. You ask some people, some young people, what do you plan on doing? What's the big thing you want to do in year 2024? To marry. That's the big thing that they plan to do. While marriage is good, while being in a relationship is wonderful, in fact, the Bible says if there is no one there to help, it's tough. Your purpose in life. In fact, maybe you should write this down. You should find a life before you find a life partner. Some people don't have a life and they're looking for a life partner. So if you don't have a life, all you will have is a partner. So get a life. Tell your neighbor, get a life. I didn't add O. You see, the Bible, we men of God, and I'll be talking to both sides of the divide, including before you marry and after you married, single and not single and all of that. So you just pick the one that concerns you. Many times, we like quoting Ephesians. We say, wives, submit yourselves to your husband. And many times, especially for married people, when issues happen, especially for those of us that are Bible students, that's what we quote for our wife first. And for those of us that are in relationships that's leading to marriage, the first thing you quote to your babe, instead of saying wife, you say woman, or this is what Bible says, that submit. But you see, many times, submission is not a problem. It is who I am submitting to that is the problem. If you are a man that doesn't have sense, if you are a man that is not responsible, if you are a man that is always talking down on everything that she does, submission becomes a problem. Wait, everybody will collect this morning. Don't worry. We are bringing the bed from the pocket. For women, see, submission is not hard. And that is why, for many times, it's easier for women to submit to their boss, to their pastors, and all sorts, than to their husband or to their boyfriend. Because you have seen the person finish. You have seen that you are not responsible. Everything is packaging. I've seen everything about your life. So I cannot submit to you. It's a big problem. And also, when it comes to the issue of relationship that will lead to marriage, I'm not talking of relationship that you are deceiving yourself. When it comes to relationship that leads to marriage and marriage proper, before you say I do and after you say I do, you have to always look out for the interest of your life partner. A lot of people, the reason why we have problems in marriage or relationships is that we are always looking out for the interest of ourselves alone, which is good because we came to this world per head. However, it makes more sense when I'm looking out for your growth and when you are looking out for my growth, and we keep each other in check. There are a lot of people that are married but are lonely. There are a lot of people that are in relationships but they are still lonely. When you are bored and you cannot call your boyfriend because you feel like I'm disturbing, you have this mindset that I feel like it's not as if you know that he's busy, and when you call, you know that he's busy. For instance, now I cannot be on the altar. My wife will now be doing video call. No, I will pick because it's very important. But also, if I don't pick, she cannot get angry and say, even if you are preaching, well, I'm calling you and you not pick. No. That's not what we are talking about here. So at every point in time, in any romantic relationship, godly romantic relationship, you have to always look out for the interest of your partner. That's why Daijo would always say, if you fight my wife, I will kill you, blah, blah. If you touch me, there's no problem. The first person that should be your fighter, Keanu Reeves said that thing. He said, I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. He said, how do you say you love if you can't fight for your love? How do you say you love when you can't? Don't worry, don't write that one. That one is not in the Bible. But actually, many times when somebody says, my wife did something, in my mind, I know that, okay, probably she's at fault. But there and there, I defend her first. First, I will look for the fault, your own fault. One way or the other. If I did not find the fault, I say, you'd have left her alone, you wouldn't have said anything to her. If I did not find any fault. But when I get back home, you too. Why did you? But outside, I'm number one Olugbeja. But there are some of us, That somebody will say, oh, your babe did this, your wife did this, or whatever. And you'll be like, Shori. And that is why it also applies to in-laws as well. You see, your parents, you should be the one talking to your parents. If your father is angry with, okay, let me use myself as an example. If my mother has issues with my wife, she should not be talking to my wife. I should be the one talking to my mother. Because I've lived with my mother for 20-something years, for 30-something years. I know how she is. She understands how I am. So if I tell my mommy, don't be doing things like that, it's not out of respect. It's not out of disrespect, rather. She understands that, okay, this is the way my son is. And he is just defending. Because the Bible says there, it says, for this cause, a man shall leave his father and mother. So when you see a skit and they say, oh, who should sit down in front of the car? Your husband or your wife? Hello, Pastor Adeola is telling you that according to what Bible is saying, is your wife. If you want, quote me anywhere, I will quote the Bible. He said, for this, if you are still a boy, yes, it's your mommy. But if you are a man, because everything you focus on building is the family that is going to come out of you. The family that you came out from has been built already to a level that it can be built. You should now be focused on the family that is coming out of you, which will be better than the family that you are coming from. And to get a good marriage is a choice of who you do marriage with. You can't choose a bad person and be acting surprised in marriage. There are some of us, when you get into marriage, like, I didn't even know that girl is like that. She has been showing you signs. It's better to have a bad relationship than to have a bad marriage. If you have a bad relationship, when you break up, yes, people will say, he's a bad person. That's why I always break women's heart. Thank you. But when you enter marriage, you have said, I do. You can't say, I can't or I don't anymore. Anything that she can't, you will stay, that she can't do, you will stay inside. You see, for marriage, it takes two people for marriage to work. It's not just one person. Many times when me and my wife travel, in the small cabin that we sit, there's always a demarcation. And for you to remove that demarcation, maybe some airlines like maybe Qatar and Air France, both of you have to press the button together down at the same time for the demarcation to come down, because you are like, you cannot demarcate me and all. You have to press that button down at the same time. Not if one person presses it, it won't work. But when you want to create a barrier, only one person, only one button will work. To build a marriage, it takes two people, but to crash a marriage, it takes one person. It takes one person to stop communicating. It takes one person to start lying. It takes one person to start hiding things. It takes one person to start cheating. It takes one person to... But if you want to build a marriage, one person cannot build a marriage. And that is why when you are in a relationship, before you say I do, you can't say you are begging for love. If you are begging for love, you will be married out of pity. If you find yourself begging for love, either as a guy or a lady, especially you as a lady, that you are begging for love, the guy will marry you out of pity. And let me tell you why. It's because the reason why a lot of people beg to be loved is because they don't value themselves. So what somebody will do is that they will value you based on their own value. Let me explain. Every commodity has a price, right? And it now depends on your purchasing power for you to be able to purchase that commodity or price it. So, for instance, you go to a shop, they are selling Rolls Royce. And they say this Rolls Royce Phantom is $2 million. You as a broke man, you first think that I cannot afford this thing. Yes, you can form phone call and just step out. You say, okay, I'll be back. They know that you're not coming back. You that you are semi-broke, you will say, okay, can I pay $500,000? And it's one of two things. Either they tell you that, no, you can't pay those amounts. This is the amount. Or they tell you that this commodity cannot be priced. There was a time, God, I thank God for exposure. I went to a supermarket. I wanted to buy something. That was there, not now. And when I took the stuff to the counter, and I said, how much last? In supermarket. I said, how much last? It was not my fault. It was my value at that time. And that is how a lot of us are right now. We don't even place any value on you don't place any value on yourself. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry that doesn't value themselves as well, they will just come and meet you. And for some of you, you've placed more value on yourself. But when somebody come and price you, you drop your price as well. Once you place a value on yourself, it is only valuable people that should come and meet you. And how do you place value on yourself? The kind of conversations that you have. There are some people that you follow them on social media, from what they post, you know the kind of circle that they operate in. There are some guys, there are some ladies that you hear what they say, and you're like, this person is not different from Portable, you're not just small doctor. You're just there. And sometimes you even see a fresh guy with them, and you're like, how? Do you know there are some people you see in relation, you're like, how? Like, who asked who out? It's because you know the value of the person by just seeing the person. And however, there are some times that you know that, yes, my packaging is not up to that level, but there is a level I'm going to. So what will I do? I act as like where I'm going to. So for instance, why do you stop playing now? You're enjoying, don't worry. So for instance, if you say, I want to be the wife of a senator. Yes, you are not going to look for a ready-made senator, but you are going to, you are not looking for. You are waiting for a guy that his life is actually in that path. I want to marry a pilot. I want to end up with a pilot. You will not go and be with somebody that say, I want to be an headmaster. I want to be a headmaster in the future. No. So your value is very, very important. And there are some people, they are very smart, they are very wise. You know, women are very smart. To me, I feel women are even smarter than men. A man can cheat, and they will catch the man. But before you catch a woman cheating, for a man to cheat is very... A woman can give you a phone and say, search. Nothing. There's nothing. In fact, you can go and drop her in the person that is... You can go and drop her in the house. A woman can cheat on you in her father's house. That the side guy is in her father, is waiting there. And you are like, I dropped that in her father's house. Women are smart. Men, don't think women are not smart. A lady might be behaving as if she's foolish. She's actually, that in her foolishness, she's smarter. There are many of you guys, you thought you were the one that asked the lady out. She was the one that asked you out, but she didn't just say it. A guy can enter somewhere and if he sees a lady, nice shape, everybody will know that you are looking at this lady. You say, nothing for you. And maybe you make eye contact with your guy, like, guy, how far? The guy knows that. Or that babe. You don't say sharp guy, he's like, you're a mumu. Most times, it's the lady she has already sized, immediately she enters, she has sized you up. A lady that does it many times, not all the times, many times, if a lady doesn't want you to see her, you will not see her. Many times. If a lady can leave her father's church and come and be in your church, she will not talk to you. Or she will be in that church. If she sees that you didn't see her, she will join your department. Because of you, she can join choir. Ladies are smart. And ladies can play the long game. Don't think a woman is foolish. And that's why a lot of guys, you fall for. Sometimes you sleep with the lady, you say, I used that. Many times the lady that used you. In fact, there are more guys that have been used than ladies have been used. There's somebody, deliverance is happening this morning. Because you are thinking like, God, I beg. God, I beg. And you're now thinking back that, okay. You can, but one other thing is that as smart as ladies are, you can do everything right and still marry wrong. You can do everything right. Not just ladies, even guys. You can do everything right and you will still marry wrongly. You see a lot of people will be like, this lady, you are doing well, you have a nice career, your future is bright, everything. But your husband is problem. Because as smart as women are, women don't think deep as men. A man, hear me, a woman will think of so many things at the same time. A woman will think, she will think far. But a man will think on one thing, or will think deep. Let me tell you how and why. Those of us that are in relationships or you are married, when you are fighting, or when you are arguing, you are not fighting, when you are arguing, the woman has the capacity to continue the argument. A woman, leave a woman, 1 hour, she's still arguing with you. Men will like running away from conversations. We'll be like, I'm not ready for this one. You say, let's have this conversation now. A woman has that capacity, that shock absorber, and the strength to argue. I saw a post this week. Somebody said, parrot 450K. Why would I buy parrot 450K? I didn't complete it, or you are the one that I didn't complete it. So in case you are looking lost, ask your neighbor to complete it for you. What's the scores now? Somebody's got 2-1. There's no scores, I beg. It's the truth we are just saying. Women have the ability to, you see conversation, they can sustain that conversation for long. And if a woman doesn't like you as well, the conversation can be the most boring conversation of your life. You'll be throwing all the questions and she will say yes. Okay. No. Like, Corona, there's no, you will not be thinking, should I no get steez? You don't know your steez are starting to breathe for her. She's just looking at that. A woman. And that is why one of the key things that sustains a relationship and marriage is communication. A woman wants to communicate. A woman, see, they want to talk. Brothers, if you are not talking to a woman, somebody else is talking to her. Adam left Eve. Adam was not talking to Eve. What did Eve do? Serpent. Oh yeah, let's gist. Before you knew it, serpent. Oh yeah, there is apple here. There are a lot of things that happen as a result of communication. A lot of married women that cheat, some of them, it's not because they want to cheat. A lot of them, it's just that somebody is giving them more attention. And attention breeds affection. You know, it's the Bible that also says that what you look at, you look like what you look at. So, my brothers, your girlfriend, your fiancé, whatever, your wife, communicate. Anyway, see, my wife, maybe she's watching now. If I'm going anywhere, if she's still asleep, I don't want to disturb her, I will do video. I'm already in traffic, oh. This is what I'm wearing, oh. See, oh. Yesterday, we went for a wedding somewhere. As all of us sat down, Baba Femi, Masco, I did video call. See, oh. I'm with Masco. See the decoration of the event. Event, it makes sense. Oh, more the event, slap, go. All the things that did not concern, I was saying it. So that don't feel like you are left alone. Because if not, women are very creative. Because the apparatus for creativity has been put inside of them. Womb is to create. So also their brain creates things. A woman can imagine, and see, from the tiniest detail, when the imagination starts, and she starts telling you that, you should be like, how? For those of you that are married, if you are married, yeah, shout hallelujah. Have you been in that? Brothers, sorry. His brothers I'm talking to now. But there are sometimes your wife will just say, you'll be like, okay, I'm sorry. Because when you think of everything she said, it's not like, it will be hard for you to explain. But when you have communicated from the beginning, anything she now imagine is from the things that you have communicated ahead. Before we went for the wedding, my wife said, imagine, wherever she's not around, though, she's far, far away. She said, make sure you don't wear black. Like, fam. But I had, as if I had coconut head. But something happened. I wore the black. But I had to tell her that this is the reason why I wore the black. Because if, it sounds funny, if I didn't explain that this is, in her mind, it's like, oh, I'm not here. So what's my own contribution doesn't make sense. Oh, that means another person is already giving you attention. Oh, okay, that means that I'm not more important. So by the time I come back, do I still have... So, you see, to avoid that wahala for your life, it doesn't cost you anything. And for men, see, it's hard for us to communicate. Many times you feel like, see, it's my life. But you see, when you are in a relationship, when you are married, it's no longer your life. In fact, your life belongs to her. She's your life partner. It's no longer, he says, for this cause. You know, if you notice, the Bible did not say the wife will leave. You are the one that carry yourself. He said, for this cause, you will leave your mommy, you will leave your daddy, and you will go and stay. Your wife becomes your mommy and your daddy. Oh, yes. Don't ever threaten your partner with breakup. See, if you are in a relationship that they are threatening you with breakup, in the marriage, they will threaten you with divorce. If any small arguments like this, let's break up. In the marriage, any small thing, let's divorce. How would you say you love someone and every time, the person has not said I do, every day she wakes up, she's afraid to have a conversation with you because you might threaten breakup. And brothers, we know this tactic. There are some times that we don't say break up. But there are some things that we do that we can lead to break up. That once the sister says, should we take a break? You're like, well, in your mind, you're like, this is the things that were aforementioned before time. There are some of us, we are too spiritual. We are too churchy to tell the sister that I want to break up. Because I feel like, I will hurt her feelings. There are some of us, like, we have graduated to that level. I was there before one time. And you wouldn't say, but there are some things that you will do. There was a time I was dating a lady like that in school. And I think just, when we were in school, we still had time. But after school, you are still facing, when the same department said, it was in 300, 400, we are still facing biochemistry, facing the novel pathway, salvage pathway. I'm like, I'm done with life. I know there are some times when you are in school, you will not see how fine somebody is. It's after school that you see how fine the person is. Just like the same way in church. There are some people, you see them in church, they're not really fine. But you see them outside in their work clothes. On point. And I just felt like, but I didn't want to I didn't want to be the one that would be the bad person. That they would say, broke up. But deliberately, I started ignoring calls, forming I was busy, do this one, and communication will break. So she started talking to her friends. So her friends advised her, what is it? That generation, people. I was like, that tell him that you want to go on a break. That maybe you'll be afraid and something. And so she just sent me a long message. That time it was BBM. It was not WhatsApp. That time we used to look at WhatsApp as something that was alien. It was BBM we were using, and there was this Viber or something. And she just sent me this long BB chat that, I think we should break up, we should take a break, blah, blah, blah. I just replied, I've been thinking so too. She didn't say anything. It was the next day. She now sent, that time, the voice note was not, it was video. She sent a video. She was crying. She said, I didn't mean to say that. I said, no. If you can say you want to break up, I'm done. I said, for you to have the audacity, for you to have the effrontery, that means I've been thinking about it. In my mind, I was like, and that is how a lot of brothers are. Ladies, I'm teaching you our school. Bro code. Don't threaten your partner with divorce. Don't every time. Don't let it be that I'll break up with you. There are grounds for breakup. There are grounds for all of these things. But don't let it be an everyday affair. It doesn't speak well. Because, you see, marriage is likened unto the love of Christ for the church. And it says, husband, love your wife as what? As Christ loved the church. So if Christ would not always threaten breakup or divorce with the church, husbands, don't threaten divorce or breakup with your wife. Because there are sometimes that a woman, because the way a woman thinks, like I said, the woman thinks far, but not as deep as a man. There are some decisions she would make that you'll be like, there are some, till now, my parents, they arguing on something, I'm like, Jesus. Can't. Your parents will do some your parents will do something that you'll be like, what's wrong with both of you? Your mother, she can say something, you'll be like, Mommy, even though that you are my mother, that's the same way you will be too. Your children will be saying that. Because that's the way you are wired. That is natural. So the reason why you are called husband, men now, they are no more counting scores. The reason why you are called husband is because as an husband man, you are a farmer. And you are the groom to the bride. You should groom the bride. That's why they call you bridegroom. To groom the bride that has been given unto you. So there are a lot of things that are deposited in your partner and in your wife that you are the one that will groom those things. So there are sometimes, the lady is not yet exhibiting everything that God has deposited in her. But it is your own duty to identify all of these things that God has put in her life and groom her. Before me and my wife got married, yes, she used to do skits, but at the level that she understood. But when we got married, I had to take it to another level. And today, when we go anywhere, no matter how nice I dress or maybe I look prim and proper, first question is, where's your wife? Look at me now. They'll say, it's been long we saw your wife. It's been long you saw me. Like, where the wedding yesterday, they were saying, where's your wife? Where's your wife? It was me too, I'm here, I'm important in this life. I said, we need to see your wife. Can you call her on video call? I said, and I'm here. I called the video call. I said, babe, blah, 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 blah. They connected the phone for me. I said, ticket. On my phone. But that's the job of the bridegroom. Most times, that's why I like Igbo men. It's the wife that, how your wife looks is what shows how much you have. What you are made of. Your wife, she's using a new brand. You can be driving bicycle. But once your wife is okay, they know that you carry. But there are some men that they prefer to be okay, and their wife is just there at the background. I always tell people that care. I say, you people, my wife has money more than me. You'll be coming to me to say, I better go and meet her. And don't marry somebody you cannot trust. Don't be with someone you cannot trust. Before you say I do, if you don't trust the person, if you are dating somebody that you cannot trust with money, don't marry the person. There are some of you cannot trust your present boyfriend with money. You're already thinking deep that we thought the pastor so. You can't trust your boyfriend with money. And there are some of you, your boyfriend or your husband cannot trust you with gist. Because immediately they tell you that gist, they already boss your sister. You know what my husband said. And that's the reason why a lot of husbands are not even talking to their wives. They're not telling them the plans for the family. Because they know that once I tell my wife this thing, her brother would have heard, her mother would have heard, her father will hear. That's one of the things that kills communication. So don't be with somebody you cannot trust. Let me tell you, don't be with somebody you cannot gossip with. The only person you are permitted to gossip with is your husband or your wife. Gist. Women want to hear gist. No matter how annoying it is, they want to hear it. Say it. And brothers, let me just tell you for free. I wish they can help me get it for only brothers, but I will just say it. If she has told you that gist before, if she says it again, react as if you have never heard it before. Behave. What? Because I found out late. My wife will be telling me something. I'll say, you have told me before. The way she will look at me, But when I realized that, in my mind, I'm like, you don't talk this thing before now. But just act like, you don't mean it. So what now happened? You know what happened? You don't. It's for some of us, it might be hard, but see, you have to. And women, sisters, if something is wrong, don't say nothing. What do you want? Nothing. What do you want to eat? Nothing. For a man, you see your nothing means nothing. A man will move on with his life so quickly without any form of remorse. He is not angry with you. The moment you say nothing, okay. A man can be sitting down like this, he's thinking of something, and you are like, for the fact that your partner is breathing, it can be annoying you. That you are just breathing, you are existing, is a problem. And brothers too, you have to understand. Let me explain the language of women to you to an extent. The first nothing means ask me again. The second nothing means ask me. Then the third time or the fourth time, she will say, I said. When she now said, I said is nothing, what she's saying is hold me. You see, the woman she can add, I said, just hold me. Because women, and See, we need to understand both sides of the divide here. We need to understand. I'm speaking for the ladies and I'm speaking for the guys as well. What's the scores now? There's no scores. Everything has scattered. If a woman says nothing, I understood that when I like eating out a lot. Not eating out, but like ordering food. So I order for food many times because I don't like stressing my wife. Maybe she's doing video and I'm hungry at that point. Like, I go chop with you, I want chop. Babe, should I order for you? No. Babe, what are you going to eat? Nothing. You see, no and nothing. It means whatever you are buying, buy for me. And that doesn't mean that when you are eating your own, I won't still eat your own. It got to a stage. That's why some of you see that sometimes my wife wears men's shirts. Sometimes I buy 2 of the shirts. Sometimes I'll see her wear something. I'll say, where did you see this shirt again? She say, hey, it's the one that you bought for me. I don't buy it for you. You took it for my wardrobe. But it's fine. Maybe one day I'll start wearing your own skirts too. And let me tell you something. They say there are 5 love languages, Abi. Touch. Those things have passed. One of the biggest love languages right now for a woman is not stealing, but it's taking her partner's property. Taking your jacket, your shirt. I know many times that shirt might not have been wearing for a long time. Then she now wears it. I'm like, in your mind, it's fine, but you are angry. Like, why are you wearing this shirt? Or the one that annoys you most, you buy shirt, it's packed in the nylon. You go and open it. See, your father did not buy clothes for you. Sometimes you have that dry cleaner will bring my clothes. And maybe some of those round neck, they are inside. I know. You go and take a round neck that dry cleaner. Dry cleaning that I paid 500 naira per washing for. You now say because there was heat at home. But you have to understand that where you have to get to that level where those things is part of, you know it's part of grooming. It's part of grooming. And it's because she loves you. That's why she's taking. She's not stealing. You might not have joint accounts, but have joint accountability. Some people will say, have joint accounts in marriage. Well, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. Because, for instance, some of us, we are businessmen. So, imagine you have to go and, company accounts, you go and put it in white now. But have joint accountability. At least to a very large extent, let your partner know what is available. If not, your partner will be thinking that there is when there is none. And your partner will be asking for unrealistic things if you are not accountable when it comes to finance to your partner. A lot of times, women will think that, I want you to buy this for me, I want you to do this, but innocently, the man doesn't have. But you think he has. Because there are some things that he provides for out of financial discipline. But you will always feel, he's not providing for me. It's because he doesn't have. But when you have joint accountability or joint account, you know what is, everybody knows what is there. So there was a time when we were still teenagers, there was a party that was going to happen in our area. And my mom was so mad that, let's buy clothes. My dad said, sure. My mom was like, no, there's money now, this one. And I said, you know that it's money for school fees. I don't have a problem buying these clothes. But are you going to provide the school fees money for these children? And that was when my mom kept quiet. That okay. That I pick clothes or my children's school fees. But if accountability is not there, the wife would be getting angry that I'm saying you should buy this thing, I did not buy it. And still back to what I was saying, women talk. Talk clearly. You talk, but talk clearly. Don't talk in parables. Don't talk in a way that and you know, misery has company. When you are gisting with your friends, they will give you more ginger. So, are you serious? He didn't know that you were angry. Like, it could not perceive that you were angry. It didn't see that your countenance changed. Like, fam, I'm thinking about how Liverpool will not beat Arsenal. You're telling me I'm thinking about, what's my problem with you? Why? Like, really? And there are a lot of, but time is up. There are a lot of things I want to say. Next week is Thanksgiving. When you are married, after you say I do, be intentional with intimacy. Let me say it in a way that you can hear. Be intentional about sex. Be intentional about kissing. A lot of married people are sex starved. And a lot of unmarried people are sex active. Pastor Abolaji, who said something, he said that we are begging unmarried people to stop having sex, and we are begging married people to have sex. You see, sex is important. Let's know, we're adults. It's important. Men, you get to a particular age, if you don't have sex, you will have prostate cancer. Yes. Should I take it a step further? Time has gone. Oh. Men, your wife's breast is not only for the baby. Men, Song of Solomon chapter 4. Song of Solomon chapter 4. Okay, let's even start from verse 1. If you don't have lines for your wife, let me give you lines. Brothers, only, let's read together. I want to go. You are so beautiful, my darling. So beautiful, and your dove eyes are veiled by your hair as it flows and shimmers like a flock of goats in the distance, streaming down a hillside in the sunshine. Next verse. Your smile is generous and full expressive and strong. Brothers are not reading this thing out loud. Hi. Your lips are jewel red. She has not used lipstick in the morning, but she tell her, babe, your lips are jewel red. Your mouth, elegant and inviting. And your veiled cheeks, soft. If you are a woman, they are telling you this thing every morning. You already don't swear. Next verse. The smooth, light lines of your neck command notice. All heads turn in awe and admiration. Oh yeah. Your breasts are like fawns, twins of a gazelle, grazing among the first spring flowers. It's okay, media, it's okay. My you go and read this to your wives. It's not just for a baby. And you that's why you women, your dressing, you should cover up. Because everything you are exposing is for your husband and your children. So by the time you start exposing everything, what you are saying is that, oh yeah, it's free market. Imagine when you are exposing your breast, and imagine how insulting it to be for a man to come and say, I like your breast. But you are exposing it. Everywhere is quiet. When they tell you dress properly, it's not just because if some of you, if they come and meet you and they say you sexual harassment, you say it's sexual harassment. So cover up. Because the people that are meant to see the breast and talk about the breast, they are at home. So when you are at home, in fact, if possible, walk naked in the house. Rub Vaseline, let's be okay. When you are at home, everything is shining like this. Develop a personal relationship with God. I need to close this. I can't do this anymore. Because if people carry me to where I don't know, I won't leave here on time. So for the sake of writing, number one, develop a personal relationship with God before you say I do and after you say I do. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. The Bible says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing will be added unto you. Then number two, evaluate and strengthen your character. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10 to 11. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth more than rubies. Evaluate some women, your character. And it shows in every area of your life. That's how so. I don't take rubbish. And many times, people that always claim they don't take rubbish, and rubbish always find them. Why? Have you ever noticed that people that always shout, I don't take rubbish, rubbish is always around them. They always say, always, I don't take rubbish. That's why rubbish men, rubbish boys, rubbish everything is always looking for you. Your character. And it also shows in the church. And because some of you cannot take rubbish from any man, you cannot take rubbish from your HOD too. You cannot take marriage, you will see rubbish. Rubbish, you will see. For those of us that are married here, how many of us are married here? Raise up your hand if you are married. Okay, we have quite a number of married people. Wait, you can drop your hand, thank you. Married people can relate. There's no water. And your partner poo-poo. Sometimes your daughter will go and flush it, and the shit will be smelling in the whole house. What do you want to do? You will see rubbish. Rubbish. Sometimes your partner has not bathed. You wake up, he's smelling mouth. You say, hello, baby. You will take rubbish. You say you will not take rubbish. So for some men that they just grew up anyhow, they will urinate on the toilet seat. You will take the rubbish. And if you cannot take that rubbish, you will always have fights. You will always have problems. And that is why a lot of times, I will go to that. Number 3, seek for guidance and pray for guidance and discernment. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious for anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Seek for guidance, for counseling. A lot of times, we don't seek counseling. But as good as counseling is very funny. Do you know why? For those of you that are psychologists, in psychology, when you are attending to someone, we have been taught to understand that a lot of times people know the solution to their problem. So you call husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Oh, yeah, you say your own. You say your own. As a psychologist, you're like, oh, or the counselor. Is that what she did? Okay, so what do you now want him to be doing? That one will say. What do you now want her to be doing? That one will say. You now say, okay, so you start doing this. You have paid counselor 1 million naira, 500,000 naira to just explain to you what you guys are meant to tell each other. But it's okay to seek counseling and guidance. And always pray. Number 4, discuss your life goals. Discuss your life goals. Because if not, discuss your life goals. Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Shall two walk together except they agree? Number 5, learn effective communication. We've spoken about that one. James chapter 1, verse 19. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because when you communicate, you'll be slow to become angry. Understand the role of love and sacrifice. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave up himself for her. Be ready to forgive in advance. In marriage, you will forgive. Imagine you know that your husband or your wife did something bad, but that person, your husband or wife has gone to work. For many women, it's like, Tobade, you come and meet me here. But a wise woman will forgive the husband in advance. A wise woman will forgive beforehand. You know that whatever happens, we are here together. We live here, we die here together. It's someone that has option that doesn't forgive. If you have an option, you won't forgive. But when you know that there's no other option, and let me tell you for free, the moment you marry, you will see finer people than your husband or your wife. In fact, some people will look fine at you. You'll be like, sometimes as a guy, you think, Moshe, I don't make mistake like this. Yeah, no, it's the truth. Ladies don't know. Guys think of it. You can be with your partner, right? And your partner is thinking that, it's as if I made mistake. But what keeps you together is discipline and commitment. That I'm disciplined and I'm committed to this person. It is not beauty that keeps you in marriage. It's commitment that keeps you in marriage. Beauty will fade away. If the beauty doesn't fade away, something will happen. The bum that you are seeing now, one day it will become flat. The breast that is still standing today, if you have children, it will still fall. The face that you are looking at, one day it will get wrinkled. But it is commitment that keeps you there. So a lot of us, the reason why we're having issues is that I feel that, I can still have options. You don't have options. See, there's nothing outside. On the street, there's nothing. The one that God has given you, that you are sure that God gave you by revelation, use wisdom to keep it. Because you can lose what you got by revelation. If you don't have wisdom, and this for the guys and the ladies as well, there are some of you that the person that God gave you before, that was your life path, and because you lack wisdom, you have lost that person. And we always shout, I want God's son. God has sons. Yes, God has sons. But God will not give his son to Delilah. God will not give his son to Delilah. And finally, honor your husband. And husbands, honor your wife. Respect. What a man wants most times, respect, peace of mind. See, many times men, they don't have problem. But some have problem. But many men don't have problem. All they want, peace of mind, respect, food. If you can do those three, for a normal man, not the one that needs help. You respect, you honor him, you give him food. He doesn't have problem. And the honor part is one of the hardest parts. Because that's the part where he would say something, and you are like, no, this is what I want. But the wisest women are the ones that would say, yes, sir. But the husband knows that this yes, sir, I cannot allow this yes, sir go. Because he knows how valuable you are. Men too, it's not as if you are foolish like that. Some men are foolish. But it's not as if they are foolish like that. They know when you say, okay. And they know that you're okay. Okay, no problem. It's the one that will come back. Okay, what should we do? That's why you now start with nothing. You go to the second level of nothing. You third one, you now say, well, I feel. I'm not. You are the one that God gave the wisdom of this house. But I feel, if I can put I just feel that, Daddy, if you don't call if you say, babe, honey, one of the funny things about this our generation about babe, because our babies now, they're already calling us babe. So before, when we were growing up, our mothers called us daddy, so we called our daddy. But right now, we call ourselves babe. So many of you that have children now, your children are calling your husband babe. Babe, it's you that God gave the wisdom of this house. With all humility, I feel we should do this. But if you say we should not do, no problem. It was the same way with Christ and God too. When Christ was going to die, Christ said, Theo, let this cup pass over me. But it is still in your own jurisdiction. It is your own will. It is not my own will. Because if honor and respect is so powerful, if not, they will vaccinate you out of the situation and bring Esther, A man can stop talking to you and just ask somebody in the office. He's rushing. You think he's very hardworking. He goes to work. The baby, she'll be cooking for him, and she knows what she's doing. And she will not be cooking for him. They will gist. And in fact, it will get to a point that you yourself, you would know the lady. And you will call you and say, I'm here with Fumio, you know that my co-office staff. And that's the one thing, all your life plan, everything, your future for your family, she knows it, and you don't know. Because every time he talks, it shuts him down. Every time he talks, he doesn't know how to talk. Every time he gives a suggestion, it doesn't make sense. Very important for men. Men need respect. Men need honor. And men, they need food. You can feel a man's belly. You can shower with respect and honor. And what the woman wants, the Bible says, many times we always look for things that the Bible did not say. The Bible said, it said, husbands, love. Woman is, if you can spoil her with love, a normal woman. Spoil her with love. Whatever you want for that woman. You want to see Panjam at 2 a.m. She will stand up and pound it for you. As bad as Jezebel was, there's another side to that story that shows that Jezebel was a good woman. We will not talk about, maybe another time we'll talk about Jezebel. So in every woman that you feel like there's a good woman inside, just shower her with love. Pour that love on her. Like, let her know that, nobody can love me more than my husband. Nobody. And when you get to that point, that you can love your wife the way Christ said you should love. Before you say I do, and after you say I do. And husbands and wives, you can submit, you can honor, you can respect. You realize that we would have an amazing situation. And I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. And I pray that these words that we have heard this morning, they will be able to stand the test of time. And this word will not just be one that we just hear in passing, but will sow seeds of development in our lives. God bless you and have an amazing Sunday.